Hey everyone, welcome to the N400 Facebook group. My name is Jeanne Morales, and today we're going to talk about the oath that you take when you become a U.S. citizen. Isn't it great becoming an American? You've worked so hard, all that paperwork, all those questions you had to study, and now you're going to actually become a citizen. You're going to take the oath. But why is there an oath? Why don't you just answer the questions and fill out forms and nice little handshake and welcome to the United States? No, it's much more important than that, and it calls out for an oath. We do oaths when we do anything important in our lives. We get married, we take an oath. We join the military, we take an oath. We go to testify in court, and we take an oath and swear we're going to tell the truth. So why should anything as wonderful as becoming a U.S. citizen be any different? Now, the oath has changed over the years, but what hasn't changed is your commitment to be loyal to the U.S. That's what the oath is all about. Now, there are many countries in the world that allow dual citizenship, and the United States is one of them. But that does not stop the requirement of you having to swear your loyalty to the United States. Being an American should be special, and the oath is special too. Now, it's not just the oath. Usually there's a ceremony that goes along with it. That was all prior to the pandemic, of course. There were places like El Paso, Texas, that would save up N400 graduates, for lack of a better way of saying it, and they'd have a huge ceremony at the downtown Civic Center, thousands of people, and not so much anymore. What's likely to happen in your particular case is that you may get sworn in just at the interview, or you may be asked to come back either later in the day or later in the week for a ceremony that involves 10, 12 people, practicing social distancing and masks, and there'll be less ceremony and more oath at those, and so it shouldn't take very long. But regardless of whether you become a citizen at USCIS or there's some people that end up getting sworn in by a federal judge, regardless, you're not a citizen until you take the oath. Now, the oath has been around for a while. Early on, when America first went through its revolutionary period, we didn't know who we could trust until they swore an oath of allegiance. Remember, before there was America, there weren't Americans. And so when George Washington was putting together an army, he had people from all over, mostly Britain, mostly European, but still, there were people in this country from everywhere. And in order to have officers in that army, he had to know that they were going to be loyal. So they swore an oath. And I actually have one of the oaths right here. This was a young man, named James Glentworth. And this is his oath from back in the day, as they say. All oaths are accompanied by raising your right hand. That's kind of a traditional thing. So I'm going to read this to you. I, James Glentworth, Lieutenant of the 6th Pennsylvania Regiment, do acknowledge the United States of America to be free, independent, and sovereign states, and declare that the people thereof owe no allegiance or obedience to George III, King of Great Britain. And I renounce, refuse, and abjure any allegiance or obedience to him. And I do swear that I will, to the utmost of my power, support and maintain and defend the said United States against the said King George III, his heirs, his successors, and his or their abettors, assistants, and adherents, and will serve the said United States in the office of lieutenant, which I now hold with fidelity, according to the best of my skill and understanding. James Glentworth, sworn to in the Valley Forge camp on the 11th of May, 1778, before Major General Sterling. So the oath has been around a while. It hasn't changed that much. The oath that you'll be taking as part of becoming a U.S. citizen, it's available online. It's also available in our N400 Facebook group. Listen to this and see if it doesn't sound an awful lot like the one from 1778. All right, ready? I hereby declare on oath that I absolutely and entirely renounce and abjure all allegiance and fidelity to any foreign prince, potentate, state, or sovereignty, of whom or which I have heretofore been a subject or citizen. That I will support and defend the Constitution and the laws of the United States of America against all enemies, foreign and domestic. That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same. That I will bear arms on behalf of the United States when required by law, and that I will perform non-combatant service in the armed forces of the United States when required by law. That I will perform work of national importance under civilian direction when required by law, and that I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion. So help me God. Now, one question people might have about this oath is, do you have to memorize it? Thank goodness, no, you do not. Whether you're by yourself or in a large group, whoever is swearing you in will do one sentence and have you repeat it, and then the next sentence and have you repeat it. You can look up all these words, but essentially it's asking you to declare your loyalty to the United States. The part about defending the United States, well, we have an army and we have a navy, yes, of course. And inside the United States, we have law enforcement that helps protect us. But what if something really bad were to happen? You know, like 9/11 happened on the same day as something like the attack of Pearl Harbor. We would want to know everybody who was a citizen would be ready to step up. Now, not everybody can be in the Army. Some of us are older than others and probably not in battle-ready condition, for lack of a better way of saying it. But everyone could help if this country needed it, and that's what they're asking people to swear to. Now, do you have to do this exact oath to become a citizen? Well, you have to do your oath. There are some exceptions and modifications that can be done. I have here the exceptions from USCIS. I will be posting this on the N400 Facebook group. But let's go over the three exceptions, and I have dealt with clients in all three of these situations. So the first one is, there are some people who, according to their religion, or they have a conscientious objection to any type of military service that would require killing somebody. So they're allowed to not have to swear the oath to bearing arms or to performing non-combatant service. Now, you do have to prove that that's what your belief is, or that you're a part of a religion that believes that, but it is something that routinely gets waived for people in that situation. Now, some people, for personal reasons or religious reasons, cannot swear an oath. That's just how they are. And so people in that category are allowed to substitute the words that they solemnly affirm and not just take the oath on oath. They're also allowed to not say the words at the end, "So help me God." But that's another modification that can be made. Can the oath be totally waived? Not really, but sort of. For individuals who, for health reasons, usually mental health reasons, are unable to understand the oath, perhaps they are a ward, they are in a situation where they have a guardian, because they can't care for themselves. The law recognizes that they can become U.S. citizens too. And either the oath can be totally waived for those individuals, of course, with the appropriate medical evidence being presented. But we've had a case where a family member was allowed to take the oath for them, and that family member actually had guardianship of his mother, and she wasn't in a position where she would be able to understand anything having to do with the ceremony or the oath itself. But she was still with us, and she was a permanent resident, and we waived the test itself, and then her son took the oath for her, and she became a U.S. citizen. So welcome once again to the N400 Facebook group. We need to get everybody who wants to become a citizen. We want to give them all the information they need. Let's do this. Let's all become U.S. citizens. Right now, ballpark, the numbers show that at any given time, there's approximately 9 million legal permanent residents or green card holders in the United States who are eligible to become U.S. citizens. Let's get all 9 million of them, okay? All right. This is Jeanne Morales. Welcome to the N400 Facebook group, and that is your oath of allegiance.